Many of you might know that I got rid of my Yaesu FT-DX10 for a multitude of reasons. Like number one, I bought a Flex 6400, and number two, I have the Yaesu FT991, which I think is an ultimate radio. Sure, you compromise the digital noise reduction slightly, but you do gain VHF and UHF capabilities. That's a radio I'll never get rid of. And recently I did receive a letter in the mail from a gentleman named Muggs, KC3UDZ, who does have an online Etsy store. And he wanted to send me one of his stands that he started creating as a gift. He said he appreciated my videos, he likes how they're well laid out, and how they're easy to follow. So thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it. Only problem is, the stand that he sent me was for the Yaesu FT-DX10, which I just mentioned I got rid of. And realistically, these prints and this design is so nice, I don't want to not show it to you. So this morning when I was going and hooking up my Yaesu FT991 after a long hiatus in the closet, I recognized something pretty interesting. For the most part, this should all fit on the Yaesu FT991, and we're going to give it a shot today and take a look at it here on the bench so you could see the amazing quality of this product, which again, I'll link below. Here on the table, we have Muggs and his awesome, we're going to call them rails for the Yaesu FT-DX10. And we know that because they're labeled FT-DX10. And I want to give you just a little bit of an example. I reached out to Muggs and I asked him, hey, what kind of printer is this? Is it a Bamboo X1 Carbon? And he said, yeah. But the print quality on here is just absolutely stunning. Now, this is the side that goes under the bed, and that's why you get that nice, rough surface. Here, I'll show you. When you're 3D printing on a bed like this, you see this textured plate, and the texture transfers over to the actual print. So that looks really good. But I also want to point out that he actually goes above and beyond with the quality that he prints, and it might be difficult to see here, but basically the layer lines are very fine. So he used a higher quality when he was printing to give this the best result possible. A very good job. But the icing on the cake to this, to me, is what they call TPU filament. Now this, I believe, is probably ABS filament, and that's a very strong, durable filament. It's what Legos are made of. But perhaps even better are these feet. Now, I took one of these feet off, and they're not really intended to be taken off, but I think for demonstration purposes, you're going to see how cool this is and what TPU filament it is. I'll explain why this matters in just a moment, but look at this. Do you see how I'm pressing on it, and it's like very flexible? Well, the nice thing about it being flexible is not only does it provide like a little stand for the stand, right? But it's flexible and it's got that textured surface. That means when there's weight on this, it makes it a little bit more difficult for it to pull away, you know. I guess that's a bad example because there's a foot there. But here, versus with the feet, there's going to be a lot more friction. And since this is for the FT-DX10, I probably won't be able to use the cool plate that is definitely made. I really could appreciate the quality that went into this plate. I mean, the print quality is amazing. He used a process called ironing on the front here, and ironing makes it look super smooth. This is multiple pieces that he used screws to screw together. So where I'm going with this is some people might go and say, oh, the price is too expensive for a stand. But no, Muggs did not cheap out on any of the components and any of the printing quality, the hardware included. I don't think that this is going to work for the Yaesu FT991 since this was originally made for DX10. He also included some hardware, which I'm going to have to find. Oh, there it is. So this hardware is supposed to mount onto your radio. We could easily take a look at this side of the Yaesu FT991. This is an original 991. And it should be pretty simple on this side. The holes line right up. There you go. Just got my iFixit kit here. It's got some threads in it, whatever. And we noticed that I will need not a Phillips head. Yeah, there we go. Well, if I'm incorrect, the world will teach me, and I'd appreciate it. I actually am going to put these right here. And I say that because I'm not quite sure. It wouldn't make sense to me if they went in there. And I'm just going to slightly screw this in. Not all the way, because I want to make sure that I can get this one in correctly as well. There it is. See how smooth those go in? It shouldn't be forced at all. And we got one side in, but I saved the best side for last. Well, actually, let's unscrew this one again real quick because that washer came out, so I didn't quite get the washer in between the screw and the... There we go. I'd be willing to bet that's probably better. So anyway, we're here on the other side now, and we'll notice that there's a handle on here. And it's okay because I don't use this handle anyway, so I'm going to take it off because if you notice, the screws for the handle align to where the rails should go. And so the first thing I'm going to want to do is take these off. And I'm using a flathead to do this, even though it's a Phillips. It seems to work fine. I'm going to put these somewhere where I definitely won't lose them. When I say I definitely won't lose them, I'll be looking for them tomorrow. And I do think that that's going to work out, even with those screws right there, because it's like he knew what he was doing. Do you see right here, there's these 4 marks, or these 4 indentations? Like, obviously, our screws are going to go through here to mount onto the radio, but then there's these little 4 marks, which is exactly where these screws are going to be located. So a very nice attention to detail. Let's just change out our bit. There's an angle that you could tilt your head and you can look under to make sure that you got the washer aligned with the screw. For example, I did not on this side, so I'm actually going to have to grab it there. Loosen this just a little bit. I think I got it. I am going to tighten these up again on this side because I don't think I did fully before. Yeah, that was the one. Now, we have one more problem, and I don't think I'll be able to resolve it today. And I mean, that's the issue, if you will, is the FTDX10 plate won't fit on the 991 because the FTDX10 is a little bit wider. But still, like, I'm going to go hang this on my wall or something. And I just one more time want to point out how nicely done it was. Anyway, when we bring this down, it's a 10-degree angle that the Yaesu 991 now fits on. And there's a couple extra added bonuses now that I don't have this on, but I could fit stuff under here. So, for example, I mean, like when I'm done operating, it's just a nice little place to put my microphone. And for example, I have that Yaesu keypad, which is about this size. And it's kind of cool. Now there's storage under there. Hey, I got to tell you, that 10-degree angle at the desk is really nice. It gives me the ability to be able to see this just a little bit better from my angle at the desk. But I do also want to just point out that this was a really nice gift, and I'm thankful for it. So thank you, Mugs. Thank you very much. It's a really nice, high-quality item, and I figured I would share it with you, the community. I'll leave a link below in case you're interested in a radio stand. Take care, everybody, and have a good one. 73.